Hello.
Hey everyone. We just found out that I have really ridiculously long eyebrows, and it's a reminder that I need to get them trimmed.
And it's really funny because I just grabbed it and Okay, I highly recommend none of you do that to your boss. But I did.
Welcome to another edition of FF Uncensored. Today we are brought to you by MyZone, heart rate monitoring system. So MyZone is a heart rate monitoring system that we use within
Functional Fitness.
Within Functional Fitness. You can actually see behind us on that screen right
that way. More.
There. Right there. That is Ashley. She's wearing her MyZone belt right now. It's a real-time heart rate tracking software device system in the facility. So it's actually a really cool thing because when we can see heart rates as coaches, that helps us to adapt a workout to get the appropriate stimulus. Because it's not all about just getting your heart rate as high as you can. Sometimes it is, but other times it's about trying to keep your heart rate in a very specific zone for a period of time. And we also use it a lot for recovery, because that's a super important piece. If someone's doing cardio-based interval type of training, we can get a better training effect by monitoring their heart rate. So they're maybe working for a period of time, but then they're resting to, let's say, 65% of their heart rate max. So it allows us to individualize a workout for that person's specific physiology rather than just generic.
And it's also great in strength training for the same purposes. If you're getting your heart rate up, we don't want your heart rate to be up when you're doing every single strength exercises. We want a pretty close to, like, depending on what kind of recovery we're looking for. So we want to also see it come down then too. Also, we can use it to judge how hard you are exerting yourself. So maybe we look up and we notice and we're like, okay, well, we need to be here. We can actually give you more load or push you a little bit harder so we can get what we're looking for on different exercises as well.
Right. It gives us objective data on how intense something is and how your body is reacting to a certain exercise or to a certain stimulus. If we don't have heart rate monitoring, we can use like an RPE system, which is called rate of perceived exertion, with 10 being a max all-out effort, 1 being hanging out doing nothing. And we can use that as well, but I like the objective data of heart rate monitors. And it's kind of fun. Like if you're doing a workout, it's almost like a game. You're trying to keep something right there. And eventually over time, you start to get really good at, all right, what does that feel like? What does getting above 80% feel like? And for our team training clients, it really tells them if they're working hard enough, right? Are they getting their heart rate up enough? Is what their exertion, does that match? Or what they feel they're exerting, does that match what's actually happening with their physiology? So it's a super cool tool that we use a lot in the facility, and we're actually going to be encouraging more and more of our members and trying to get everybody onto this because it is that valuable. And if we had everybody using it, we would be able to do some different programming with team training, which could be really, really cool and really interesting, and actually ultimately get people better results.
Exactly, and that's really what the whole thing is on. And we are starting to make the push, so if you are interested in MyZone, we have them here. We can order more, but really the idea is to make sure that everyone they're coming to the gym is getting the best experience they can and the best results. And this is one way that we can better do our jobs and better serve you guys to get you exactly what you want.
Right. So MyZone basically has 2 different belts. They have one belt that's a storage belt, and I believe that's what this is. It's called the MZ3. It's a storage belt. So what that means is I can put the belt on, I can go for a run outside of the facility, and not even with my phone. And it has a little storage device in it, a little data chip, so it records your heart rate throughout that time period. And then once it connects either in our facility or to your Bluetooth on your phone, then it uploads all of that data. So it's a good way to see how your runs go, but you can also see it in real time. So in real time here, like back here on the screen, that's Ashley's real-time heart rate. She's a little bit further away, or it's a little bit further away so you can't actually see it, but right now her heart rate is 60 beats per minute. So she's very relaxed, very relaxed. So if she starts to get a little stressed out during this FF Uncensored, we'll know.
Okay, so here, I just pulled it up on my phone so you guys can see it a little closer. So this is what my heart rate is doing right now. So
she's at 30% of her max heart rate, and which equates to about 60-ish beats per minute. That's what she's doing right now. So if we had her start doing things, like maybe let's have her go back there and start doing a bunch of jumping jacks, we'll see do start doing some jacks, and let's see kind of what starts happening with her heart rate here. So I won't cover her up. I'll put this over on the side. So you'll notice her heart rate is starting to go up. We are now at 82 beats per minute, and it's kind of continuing to go up here. You keep going. Maybe a little bit faster. Maybe a little bit faster, jacks. Quicker jacks. Quicker jacks. Quicker jacks. Yep, we're going up. Still continue to go up. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Yeah. All right. Good. You can relax. So now you'll see she got into the blue zone. She hit 64%, 65%, 67%. It's still reading. She might hit green. Yep, got into green. So she hit about 70% of her heart rate max.
And so my heart rate was still going up even after I stopped. So I think that's something to note too.
Right, exactly. And that's part of just training, right? When we stop doing something, our body has to adjust. And so she got to about 140 beats per minute. And let's say we wanted Ashley she wanted to improve her like VO2 max, and she's running a 5K or running a 10K or doing some type of endurance event. We could say like, all right, Ashley, we want you to stay in the green zone for this run. So when she goes for her run, she stays in the green zone. So she keeps her heart rate in that 70% range, which for her is probably anywhere between 135 and 155. Or if we have a client that we're like, hey, today we want to be an active recovery day, we want to keep you in the blue zone for pretty much everything, we can then look at their heart rate and keep that heart rate in that blue zone, which would be like 60% of their heart rate max. Or if we want to go really high intensity, we would get in that yellow zone, which is 80% or higher. And so, yeah, there's a lot of really cool things that we can do with heart rate technology, and it's been around forever. But this type of display hasn't been. This is fairly new.
Someone asked me, are we going to have a MyZone thing like that one over in the other gym?
There is MyZone. Yes, there will be MyZone over there as well. So, yep, we will have MyZone in FF24 because I think it's that powerful.
And it reads from your belt. So like you have one here, it will still read over there the same way as it does here.
Exactly. We're going to make it all like one facility. The other thing too with MyZone is I forgot where I was going with that one, so I'm going to pivot and go back to, we have the two belts. We have the MZ3, which is the storage belt, and then we have the MZ1, which is basically you have to be connected to something. So if you're in the facility, you're always connected to our stuff. If you're not in the facility, you would be connected to your phone, to your Bluetooth on your phone. So you have to be connected because it's transmitting data back and forth the entire time. I love the storage belt because I don't like to just not have to think about it if I don't want to.
The other differences between them is the MZ3. So the storage belt it has like a charging cord that you connect to your computer or any kind of like charging block. The MZ1, so the non-storage belt, has a battery inside of it, one of those silly circle batteries. So just know that there is a difference between the two on the battery.
Why are circle batteries silly?
They're just weird. And they're expensive. And I hate changing them.
Okay, valid. So we've got the two different belts to two different price points. I can't even tell you what they are off the top of my head.
I think they're like $69 and $99.
So if you're interested, let us know. We are going to be doing another MyZone challenge coming up very shortly. We're just kind of finalizing that kind of stuff, which will be kind of fun. I believe it's going to be a bingo challenge. And then we'll probably have belts on sale leading up to that. So if you want a belt, they'll probably go on sale in the next week or so.
If you are even borderline, I think like everyone should consider getting belts right now, because going in, we want to incorporate more stuff and have more offerings for you guys, and this would really take it to the next level. So if you don't have a belt, I highly recommend getting one this time around when they go on sale.
100% heart rate technology. It's awesome. The other thing too is if you have a belt on and you're on a machine that tracks heart rate, like the bikes we have here or even the treads, it will automatically pick up. So it uses the same frequency that a lot of those machines use. So that heart rate will show up right on your machine. It won't be the zones, but it'll show you like the actual beats per minute. So you can use the belt with pretty much any like newer cardio machine. It uses the same frequency of stuff, and all of the data should upload immediately. This was that question that was in. All of the data should upload immediately. So if you're in here, it should be uploading in real time, and then you get a little email that gives you some feedback into like how your workout went.
But if you do a workout, like you do a run, and yours takes 12 or however many hours to upload.
what
Why
was
is that
question?
happening? Yeah, that's more of what it is.
I have no idea, to be honest. That's
Yeah,
like
so
a MyZone
like you
support
could reach
question.
out to MyZone and ask them. The other things I would guess would be like you might need a new fob. Like maybe your
Right.
belt is old. I mean,
Right.
it is technology still that we're dealing with, so there are updates that happen, and we
Right.
don't necessarily have control.
And stuff just gets old. Like it's like a phone. Like
Yeah.
at some point it just goes out.
The pricing on the belts, the non-storage belt is $49 and the storage belt is $99.
Yes.
So
Yep. Or you can go to myzone.org and pay $149 for the storage belt and $99 for the non-storage belt if you want.
I mean, we're just saying you kind of get a deal here at Functional Fitness.
Because we feel like it's that important for people to use them. So anything else with heart rate technology?
No, I just want to be like, get a heart rate monitor.
They are like they're super cool, and they allow you to really tailor a workout. So actually, one thing that I see a lot. So high intensity interval training. People have probably heard the term HIIT. Super popular, but most people are actually doing it wrong. They do like high intensity continuous training because they don't ever let themselves recover.
Yep.
And so they may pick like a format of like 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off, but in 30 seconds you don't actually get a recovery to get the up and down spikes that we want from a interval training. So true interval training, which is all the studies have been done on for being superior for fat loss and that kind of stuff, is I drive my heart rate up, I keep it there for a period of time, and then I let it recover down, and then I keep it there for a period of time, and then I go up, and then I come down. And if you're not doing it with a heart rate monitor, you're probably not getting the most benefit because you don't know how much. You may be recovering too little, you may be recovering too much. And then the other thing that's cool about heart rate monitoring is it adapts as the workout goes along, right? So if we are basing your workout around a heart rate, as you get more fatigued during the workout, it will take you longer to get to that like starting heart rate. So let's say we wanted you to get to 60% before you start your next set each time. So you get on the bike, you go hard for 30 seconds, you drive it up to 85%, and then you have to rest until it gets to 60% or 65%. And the first time it may take you 45 seconds, maybe a minute. The second time it might take you like a minute 5. The next time it might take you like a minute 10. And so the workout is actually adapting real time to your physiology rather than just saying, all right, we're going to work for 60 seconds and we're going to rest for 30. There may be certain cases that's a good thing, but we would rather have a workout be based on your physiology rather than just arbitrary
Well, and
numbers.
also how you're feeling each day too can gauge
affect
that,
it.
like how you recovered and how you sleep. I can honestly tell when people haven't slept because of how quick they can get themselves up, just because their body is already there. And then sometimes you can work as hard as you want and your body's just not going to go up because you can't push it to the level you normally do. So it's like helps with a lot of awareness. Like if you can't push yourself to be in yellow, is today a day that you should be really pushing yourself, or is it a day that you should probably be recovering? And I think sometimes it's okay to take that information and be like, I really need to recover today.
Right. So I guess the big takeaway from this is if you are working out, it's probably worth investing in some sort of heart rate tracking technology and then learning a little bit about how to use it so that when you are doing your kind of like cardio or metabolic type days, you can use the heart rate based training to get a more effective workout, more efficient workout, and all around just like a better workout.
Maybe we should, just because we're encouraging people to get MyZone, maybe we should talk about like a lot of the watches that track that stuff and why we would like at the gym tell someone the MyZone would be better versus their watch.
All right, so that's a good thing. So we see a lot of Fitbits, we see a lot of Apple Watches. They have heart rate monitors on the wrist. So they're taking like your radial pulse, I believe. And what we know from the research is that heart rate based or strap based systems that have a sensor close to your heart are much more accurate than the ones in your wrist. And so that's why we like the straps like this stuff, where it straps around your chest, and then the monitor actually sits kind of like right here next to your heart. We're going to get a much more accurate heart rate than one that's around your wrist. So the stuff around your wrist isn't inherently bad, it's just not as accurate. And there's usually going to be more lag time because that's just further away from your heart. because it's basically looking at the pulses. Like every time your heart beats, there's a pulse that happens. There's a blood flow, and it's measuring those pulses, and it's a lot more arteries to go through to get to your wrist versus being right at your heart.
And the other thing is going to be on those watches, it's just going to give your heart rate. A lot of times when we're doing this, we're going to be talking about your heart rate zone being in a percentage from one percentage to the other, and you're just not going to have access to that kind of information just using a watch.
Right. You'd have to know your zones, which would be like a heart rate of 120 to 130 or 132.
And I promise you, in the middle of a workout, I could never tell you that.
Yeah. So that's the nice thing about the color coding is like green or blue or orange.